Hi, it's Cammy. Charlie talks football.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. So just here after the aftermath of yesterday, Newcastle get beat 4-2 off Liverpool. Now I did say I was going to come on here today with my dad and go into a bit more detail of the game. So this is going to be the full match reaction, but we are going to touch on some other things as well. So anyway guys, let's get into the video. So as you know, Newcastle lose 4-2 to Liverpool. And it was a frustrating game. I mean, Liverpool, I think, deserved to win. I know a lot of people will complain about VAR and it wasn't a penalty, but do you think Liverpool deserved to win, Dad? Because I think they did, despite VAR.
Yeah, I think Liverpool still would have won the game if it wasn't for the penalty, if it went in our favour.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool are top of the league and they're a really good team, and we've got a poor record there. We've got a poor away record at the minute, so we're struggling. We did make a bit of a game of it, but they had lots of chances, and they were switching the ball quickly and exposing the fullbacks one-on-one, causing more problems. Where defenders weren't picking up people in the box, they were slow to react. So two positives is Dubravka did really well, I think. And
he
Joe
had a good game, didn't he?
We missed his strength, so it was good to have him back in midfield. But they were playing through our midfield far too easily.
I mean, as well, it was, the goals were conceded were just too easy for Liverpool. I mean, I know they've got a lot of quality, but you can't use that as an excuse because Newcastle did not defend very well. As you said, Dubravka had a really good game. I still think we do need a goalkeeper, despite him having a really good performance, like someone like a De Gea or a Ramsdale maybe. But as you know, Liverpool have got the highest XG ever off this match, so it's not really the best look for Newcastle, is it? But I just want to also sort of discuss a bit about Eddie Howe, because again, of course, there are rumours about his job potentially being under pressure. And my thoughts is I think things need to change. I know it is Liverpool. I know they are one of the best teams in the league, but I do think that we need to change how we play, because I think a lot of teams have figured out the way we play. And I think, of course, like my dad said, our away record isn't very good, and we got beat 3-1 to Forest at home, and if our home record starts becoming bad, we're in trouble. And I've been looking at our next three games, and we've got obviously that massive game against Sunderland, haven't we? Aston Villa and Man City, and I don't see us winning.
We've got Man City straight after the Sunderland game as well, and then Aston Villa, that's right.
But I don't see us getting anything out of them games. The Sunderland game, I'm hoping we can win, but I'm not very confident, which is probably, I feel really surprised saying that.
One concern I want to talk about, Charlie, is that Callum Wilson is going to miss our next two games at least. And there was a post on social media today with a picture of him. I don't know how true it is, but he was jetting off to Dubai allegedly with his family. Now, if that's for rehabilitation for his injury, fair enough. But that has to be. I'd be curious to see if a journalist asks Eddie Howe the question at press conference on that. If it is true that he has gone to Dubai. But again, Callum Wilson, great player when he plays, but he gets injured a lot. And we've said all along we need another striker to back up Isaac and Wilson. And are we going to get one in the transfer window? But it's going to be really difficult because of financial fair play.
And as well, I think the thing is as well, like as you said, our away record. I just want to touch on that, because what is going on with our away record? And I'm not just taking into account the Liverpool game, because I know Anfield's a very tough place to go to, but in general, our away record's terrible.
It's been awful, and I don't know if we're lacking confidence. I don't know if the players, and I'm not using this as an excuse, we've had a lot of injuries and players can get tired, but it's gone on for so long. So, questions do have to be asked. And, I'm 100% behind, personally, me, Eddie Howe. I'd be really upset if he lost his job, and I don't think he's nowhere near losing his job. But if we get beat off Sunderland, if we get beat off Man City and then Villa, there'll be a lot of pressure on him.
The thing is, guys, as well, like my dad said about the away record and stuff, people keep blaming injuries and using that as an excuse, but you look at I know it's Liverpool, but I'm sort of going on all of the last few games in general, but if you look at the team we're putting out, there's still so much quality, isn't there?
There is,
so
and I mean,
people can't just blame injuries because you've got Isaac, Bruno spent loads of money, Botman spent, Livramento 40 million. So we're still playing a team.
Sometimes teams go through like a difficult
spell. I know.
And this could just be it, but we need to sort it out, don't we? Because we're...
And I think, I don't know, I think some teams may have figured out the way we play.
Yeah.
I think it worked very, very well last season. He did an incredible job last season. Obviously get some signings in January and hope the form can turn around. But you're right, if we lose to Sunderland, Man City and Aston Villa, obviously he's going to be put under even more pressure, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, like you say, it's really difficult to try and pinpoint what the issues are because we're lacking a bit of energy because we used to play with a high press and really a lot of energy and pace and intensity and passion. And is some of that gone? I don't know. Maybe it has a little bit. And other players tired. I don't know. But, these are sort of what you might perceive as excuses, but it's just trying to fathom out what needs to be done to put it right.
The thing is as well, guys, I think as well, of course, we did fantastic last season getting Champions League football, but I think people are sort of saying, yes, we had a very good season, which is true. Of course, we had a very good season. Eddie Howe did a brilliant job, but we keep going back to the past and making excuses by saying, oh, well, we did well last year. Like, we can't just say, like, next season, let's say we have a bad season. Oh, well, we haven't done well, but remember what we did last time. And yes, it was really good, but I think people are making too many excuses. And the reality is, I don't think we're going to get Champions League football, which I wouldn't say is a failure. But if we don't get any form of European football, I would say that is a failure, in my opinion.
I think the owners would as well, but they know, we're probably a couple of years ahead of where we expected to be. So, we need to develop the squad and get the injured players back as well and strengthen areas. Losing Tonali was a thing. But I just want to ask you, Charlie, what about the penalties last night? The Jota one, he went down ages after. I don't even know if there was any contact, but to me that was embarrassing.
From looking at it, I think there was a tiny bit of contact, but I still don't think it was a penalty.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to get him. And for him to delay and keep running, then fall down was embarrassing. And I mean, the first one I thought was a penalty because Botman clearly makes contact with, I'm not sure if it was Alexander Arnold or I'm not sure it was, but anyway, that was a penalty. But the Jota one, I just didn't understand that. I can't get my head around that.
The thing is, I don't want to use that excuse as to why Newcastle lost because Liverpool dominated. They had so many shots. Dubravka, it's strange because he made a lot of saves, but we've ended up conceding 4 goals, which you don't really get that.
Conceded
often,
3 against Forest as well, didn't we? So that's 7 goals. From a defence last year, that was the best defence in the Premier League. Conceded the least amount of goals. It is concerning.
And I think as well, Eddie Howe did say it. He's after the game, he said, it's not just the defence, it's if the whole team isn't functioning right as well. But you could blame the keeper, you could blame the defence, you could blame the midfield, you could blame anyone really. But the fact is, something needs to change because, of course, we've got the Sunderland game.
That's massive, isn't it? It's a big game.
Looking forward to that. But I think it's the first time where, although we've got a better team on paper, I do feel like the game could go any way.
I mean, we need to win that game, don't we? We need to go and win it well, and
I don't know. I'm not very confident, actually.
Well, it just depends on the day, doesn't it? Oh, you've got better quality, but you've got to perform. Because if you don't, then you can be found out. So we need to put on a good show. And I know Trippier's doubtful as well. He missed the game yesterday against Liverpool. And obviously Wilson's not going to play again, so that again leaves with light up front. It just leaves with Isaac. But then if you've got Isaac goes off, or we need to make a change, there's not much way to change it. Yes, Gordon can play up there, but he's not really a forward, is he?
And as well, I wanted to say as well because, it was a frustrating game, wasn't it? It was just, of course, we're playing one of the best teams in the league. We've got a terrible record against Anfield. But like I said before, if our home record starts going bad, which it might start to go bad, we're in big trouble because if we don't sort out our away record, that's been a problem. And I think, to be honest, the owners will give Eddie Howe until the end of the season and then assess it. And then, you know, if they think it's a failure, I think they will sack him, unfortunately, as well. But you have got to say that we are, you know, every team has bad form. Every team goes through a bad patch. But I think it just depends. I think these next few games for Newcastle are crucial for Eddie Howe's future.
I didn't think, you know, wouldn't expect to win or get a result at Liverpool. You've got to have hope and you've got to be positive. But I think the fact is that if we had been sitting in 4th or 5th or 6th place, a 4-2 defeat doesn't seem as bad. But because we've lost so many games and away games, it makes it seem even worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, and of course it could be many reasons. It could be tiredness, but I think sometimes I think Bruno, we're not playing him in the right position. I think sometimes he could be pushed a little bit further forward, and I think Calvin Phillips could do that if he comes in, allow Bruno to get forward. But I saw this article today, I'm not sure who it was by, it might have been by the Chronicle, but it said that Newcastle may need to sell one of their best players in order to help for financial fair play. So, you know, Bruno's probably the one that stands out the most because, as you know, he has a release clause of 100 million, and any club could go and trigger it in January. But I do think he'll stay at least until the end of the season. But guys, let us know your thoughts down below.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. Give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so because it does help the channel reach more people and it helps us. So. And we've got a special video coming up on Saturday, haven't we?
I can't wait. And as well, guys, what do you think about the topic of Eddie Howe's job? Do you think he should be sacked? I don't think he should be. But, you know, like I said before, the next few games are crucial. So get all your thoughts below. What were your thoughts on Newcastle's performance? Does Eddie Howe need to change the tactics? Does Eddie Howe have to take the blame for the last few games, which I think he does? But I just want to touch on something quickly before we finally end off on this video, because Eddie Howe said after the game some very interesting comments. He basically said that he thought we were unlucky to lose, and I don't think we were unlucky. I think we deserved to lose, because I saw a lot of Newcastle fans on social media sort of criticising Eddie Howe after what he said. But you've got to remember what he did last season, haven't you? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a like. As always, Sunderland, we will be doing a preview on that game on that channel, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.